My name is Renata Kristen. I'm the supervisor of donor family services at Gift of Hope. Aftercare Services takes care of all donor families from the time of donation to really ever after. We believe that donor families begin with saying yes to donation. So even if we're not able to move forward with transplanting any organs or recovering any tissue, once a family says yes to donation, they are a Gift of Hope donor family. We have a 1-year correspondence where we actively send out information to donor families. And after that, if a donor family wants to continue a relationship with us, we welcome them with open arms. The most important thing we provide is connection. We provide connection between donor families to other donor families to recipients, donor families to our colleagues, donor families to transplant partners. We provide our donor families with a memory box which has information in it, and it also has a medallion that is in honor of the donor. And we have a workshop that other donor families put together this memory box for our future donor families. It is really beautiful to see our donor families knowing that they put their heart into each one of these boxes, knowing that each one of these boxes is going to a future donor family that they don't know that they're going to be donor families yet. And it's our extension of our love in these boxes given to someone at their very, very worst day ever. We do a lot of writing workshops. An organ donor family can write to their recipient at any point. We help each one of our donor families if they're able to write and want to write.
Sometimes I just put in my phone like a year from that date to know that it's like the anniversary of their loved one's passing, and I'll reach out to them on that day because so many people provide support for you in the first month of someone's passing, and then everyone moves on with their life, but you're still kind of stuck in this grief moment. And so I usually try to reach out to them if I know it's a birthday or the anniversary of their passing, just to let them know that they're still thought of and cared for.
According to Psychology Today, survivor's guilt is a form of guilt that transplant recipients may experience because even though they were in a life-threatening situation and they survived, someone else died in order for their life to be saved.
There's a lot to do with survivor's guilt, a lot, especially when it's a child that passes away or a very young adult. They're on this journey. You don't make the wait list until you are the sickest of the sick. You don't receive an organ until you are on that journey of passing as well. They know the pain. They know the hurt. They're at that doorstep and their life is saved. It is a big deal to come to terms with.
Survivor's guilt is a phenomenon where somebody feels like, why am I allowed to live and somebody died for me? That is a real phenomenon. We have a lot of professionals in psychiatry and psychology that help people deal with that. To honor that gift, it's important for you to go on. Show the gratitude by a letter. Show the gratitude by taking your medicines. Show gratitude by talking about organ donation and how much it meant to you, what it allowed you to go back and do. You know, people have used social media. We would hope that people talk about organ donor awareness on their social media platforms, because unfortunately, when people have accidents, that's not the time that you want to discuss this for the very first time as a family. We try to explain to them, you shouldn't have survivor's guilt, you should have survivor's gratitude. You show that gratitude in small ways. Every time you take your medicine, that's a thank you to that donor family. Every time you go to the doctor, that's a thank you to the donor family. Every time you open your eyes, that's a thank you to that donor family. Every heartbeat, every breath, every time you go to the bathroom, that's a thank you to that donor family.
It's important for a lot of the donors and recipients to connect post-transplant. It's good for the recipients to have a connection to the donor family because they do experience a sense of guilt sometimes. And it's important for the donor family to know what happened and that their loved one is living on in someone. So as long as both parties want to interact with one another, then Gift of Hope always helps facilitate that. So they can write letters, and we'll oversee that. We've had a lot of donor and recipient family meetings, and we always make sure that those happen with us present so that we can be there for both of them and just facilitate a good meeting.
For donor families to meet their loved ones' recipients is really amazing. It starts with both parties being ready and being in the same place in their journey. They can reach out to their loved ones' recipients at any time. We are happy to arrange a meeting. We are happy to help take next steps. We've had many meetings where we've had people here. We've had many meetings where we've gone to another state. We've had many meetings where we've flown in people from other states, and people that believe in the connection and the beauty of the connection and how meaningful each connection is. When a recipient comes in and a donor family meets a recipient, we prepare both sides for the highs and the lows that they're going to feel that day. It is definitely an emotional roller coaster. We help donor families get through those minutes. Of course, when the initial moment when donor families and recipients meet, there's nothing but hugs and tears and just this overwhelming sense of love and being in every single room. There hasn't been a room that does not occur immediately. It is sad, it is wonderful, it is breathtaking each and every single time.
The families are just so grateful to hear who their loved one helped save, and a lot of times they just want to know how the family's doing, and a lot of donor families are just so caring about how the recipients are in their own grief too, which I think is amazing.
It is very important that people know what the wishes are, that you're not making that choice. The family is not making that choice for you, because that does increase the family's guilt of, did we do the right thing? I feel like we owe it to our families who have raised us and the people who have loved us to let them know what it is we want as our wishes, as our final wishes, really. Because if we don't let them know, they live with the guilt. Organ and tissue donation saves lives. We need to know if somebody wants to do that, so that the people that will celebrate your life can continue to celebrate your life because they know they've honored your wishes.
My name is Jasmine. I am 26 years old and I live in Illinois. Before I received my biggest blessing, second chance at life, I had been on dialysis since February of 2014. I love to travel and hang out with my friends and family, and being on dialysis 3 days a week took that away from me. I know you're probably still grieving from the loss of your loved one, and I want you to know there's still a part of her out here living through me, and I'm going to make sure I bless people just as she did me.
I want you all to know that my kidney is working perfectly fine. My transplant team always tells me I'm doing better than the average transplant patient. It's been about a month since my transplant, and once I'm all healed up, I can start traveling again and hanging with my friends and family. I am truly blessed, and even if I could tell you thank you until infinity, that wouldn't be enough. Words can't describe how thankful I am. What you have given me will touch my family's soul forever.
You all are very special people. Through your loss, you gave a young girl a second chance at life and being able to live my life as I want to. God bless Jasmine.
It helps to know that she's still living out there in some way.
The kindness, the pure exuberance she had, that she's going to live her life, so much more in a more fulfilling but meaningful way now, made a big difference. Because we know that's what Maddie would have done. And it sounds like Jasmine wants to do the same.
We'd give anything to have Maddie back. But to know that she's living on a little bit in Jasmine is, Jasmine's our daughter.
We wrote back to her, and we hope that maybe someday we'll get to meet.
We want to be respectful of her privacy and respectful of her boundaries, but she knows that when she's ready, we'd be excited to get to know more about her and meet her, hopefully, eventually, someday. It's been nice, very nice to get to know a little bit about her, just back and forth over emails. It's very healing for us. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Grobmeyer, it's Jasmine, the one who received a special blessing from Madeline. I'm so happy I'm able to be in touch with you all. I'm able to be working and keeping a job now because I always used to get sick and have to quit. Me and Maddie's kidney are working awesome. And then out of the clear blue in August, we received an email that just said, "Good morning, just checking in to let you know everything is good. How's everybody on your end?" I have a hole in my heart that will never ever close. But every day that goes by, that hole gets a little smaller. It will never close, it will never completely heal, but it gets a little smaller every day because that's one day I'm closer to seeing you again. And I often think about when I see her again, what would she say about all this? And I think the answer would be, I don't think she'd say anything. I think she'd just give me one of those big mad dog hugs. And I'm cool with that.